and thank you for attending this training session. Today we're going to discuss a new tool that I'm looking to move our agency to moving forward in the future. As a use of force instructor for this agency, I am constantly looking for new ways to bring new tools and devices that are going to help us do our job more safe. New ways for us to be able to go home to our families and to keep us from getting hurt, or even members of the public from getting hurt. Last time we met, we discussed about this particular tool, which is the TASER. Currently at our agency, we're utilizing the TASER X26P. This device was developed released in 2013 and it is a one-shot system, so one cartridge in there with two probes, and it requires officers to be able to shoot from a distance of 7 feet to 20 feet to be able to achieve the maximum safety distance, or maximum distance that the device is capable of being effective. On top of that, like I previously mentioned, this one was released in 2013, which means the technology in it was prior to 2013. So it's fair to say that it's likely a little bit obsolete. That is why I say it's time that we move to the latest and greatest thing on the market that Axon has put out there. I want to introduce to everyone the TASER 10. Now, Axon has not changed their overall mission as far as what the overall goal is to achieve the neuromuscular incapacitation on a subject. However, how it's delivered and giving officers more safety has been a goal of theirs, and that is what we're going to get with the TASER 10 device. So the TASER 10 device varies in several different ways from the X26P. First and foremost is it is no longer a single shot system or a one cartridge system. It is now a 10 cartridge system. Now, these cartridges are one probe versus the two probes in the one cartridge on 26P. However, you get 10 versus one, and only one's going to fire at each time when you pull the trigger. So why is that important? Well, one of the complaints about the X26P and other TASER devices is, like I mentioned before, you had to be at a minimum of 7 feet for it to be effective. We have a lot of encounters that occur within inside that 7 feet. So moving to that new system where we can fire this one you can fire as close as me touching you, that short of distance, because it's that single shot. I can fire the second one down below to achieve that maximum range that I need for it to be effective. So that's very important, especially for an officer safety standpoint. Another really big key factor in between the two devices is the lighting and the warning system that are involved with both. The X26P is designed with a flashlight and laser light. It is a red laser light. Works just fine when it's dark or not as sunny outside. But on a full sunny day, you can't see that light, and that can create some officer safety issues. So TASER addressed that, and it's been updated in the the TASER 10. Can't see it on video. However, it is a green laser light system, and you can see that one no matter what, daytime, nighttime, see it plain as day. Great, wonderful upgrade feature to the device. Don't know if you notice, but also the warning system on the devices have severely upgraded. When I turn on the X26P, you don't hear anything, and you're not going to hear anything until you pull the trigger. So you have to rely on your verbal commands. TASER 10, they've developed 2 warning systems before you even have to fire. First one, when you initially turn it on, you hear that noise. That is a warning to someone that they could likely be tased. The second is if you flip it up before the trigger, it's going to give you a secondary warning, which is going to flash the flashlight at you and make a more intense sound. That is even a bigger warning that you are likely going to get tased if you don't start complying to that officer's commands. And if that wasn't enough to convince you, let's talk about training. Training is a big thing, especially here at our agency. We've taken it very serious. X26P, we do yearly training on. We sit through a classroom, death by PowerPoint. Then at the end, we go fire 2 cartridges at a standing still target, and we're done. Great. Taser 10 has taken that to the next level. You still get the same PowerPoints. However, the training to recertify on every year is a little bit more intense. So with this device, they were able to create a training cartridge designated by the purple that allows us to use what's called a hook and loop. Same thing as Velcro. Velcro is patented though, so they couldn't use Velcro, so they had to call it hook and loop. It'll actually shoot out cartridges at a suit that is made of hook and loop, and you can do more realistic training with that. This will allow us to run scenarios. This will make a moving target, and this will also enable us to actually put some stress into the officers before they fire that weapon at you. So overall, just another great tool is what we can do with the training versus the old system. We can also hook up to a VR system, a virtual reality, with this one as well. So again, I want to reiterate the importance of why I think this agency needs to move forward with the Taser 10. So we were very fortunate enough to Taser Axon allowed us to use some of the 10s to go out and test. We've had 5 incidences already involved with the Taser 10. 3 of those we gained compliance upon turning on. The other 2 we gained compliance after hitting that additional warning system. Stats speak for itself. So again, I want to thank you guys for your time. Thank you for listening to me, and hopefully we move forward. Stay safe.